and I have got lot of respect and regard to all these critics and opponents. I think we should recognize this point, and we should try to learn even from others, maybe critic or opponent. I think we can improve our efficiency and productivity because of them. Okay? Then let us go for focusing in life. If you are in academic profession, teaching profession, just I try to explain like this, try to discuss like this. See, whatever life we have got in teaching and academic profession, we divide into three. May not be mathematically one third, but it is something like this. The first phase of our life, we should focus on learning, relearning, or whatever process we have for learning. That we should focus. The second phase of our life, I used to say earning. Then few of my elders and past presidents like MRO, they used to debate with me. So why you are talking about the earning? We are in teaching profession, we are in academic profession. Then I told sir, the problem is, see, I am a teacher and academician, but unfortunately I have got my family. I have to manage my family because my wife and children, they don't listen all these stories. Because I have to manage them. So I told, even teachers should be financially sound. He should not have a problem. Thanks to 6th Pay Commission and other things, know that there is some provision that we are getting reasonably okay salary, good salary. Otherwise, no teachers used to face the problem. You have to think something else apart from academic. It is not that what we are going to teach tomorrow 9 o'clock session in the marketing and finance. We used to think tomorrow 9 o'clock so and so that the house owner will be coming, the milk vendor will be coming, or somebody will be coming and will have to make the payment. And the maid servant. So Professor MRO was telling that no, you are expert in managing work-life balance, so you will not have any problem. You are traveling a lot. So morning I received a phone call from my wife. She told that no, that we are supposed to pay the salary to the maid servant on 5th. You did not make the payment. You started on 2nd. So we are supposed to pay. So I told, even person like me, I face some problem in the work-life balance. So in Indian scenario, I say these maid servants are respected individuals, sometimes more than spouse also. So that's the thing. So we'll have to maintain. So these are the small issues which may have the impact on our teaching and academic profession that I am telling. So the second one is earning, and the third one, it is the returning. Returning. Anybody can explain? What is this returning? The third phase, Professor?
As a social activity.
Social activity, what we have to return? Knowledge, wisdom. We have to return what we have received. What we have received. We are here, you are here because others, they have contributed in your life, in your profession. Who are they? Your parents, your relatives, your teachers, individuals from the society and community. Everybody has contributed to your and my life. Because of that we are here. I think now we will have to return. I say the third phase. It is something like the principle of double entry bookkeeping system says, every credit has a corresponding debit. Opposite is also true. Every debit has a corresponding credit. When you have received, you will have to pay back. You will have to pay back. You will have to return. And I say the teaching and academician that you will have to return double what you have received, because you are into the teaching profession. Whatever you have received, even if you take a loan from the bank, you will have to return with the interest. It is not equal. So that we are supposed to do. So we teacher and academician should focus on these three areas: learning, earning and returning. The focus should be like this. Then ultimately we talk about the academic activity. This is the model, the worldwide, not only in India and other places, Europe and USA we follow. Management teacher, what is supposed to do? Management teacher, he has got the activity of teaching, training, research, consulting and administrative work. management colleges approved by regulatory bodies, something like AICTE. If you ask me, 80% of the colleges are conventional and traditional, where most of the faculty member, most of their time, 75 to 80% of their time, they spare focus only on one activity, teaching. Traditional colleges offer MBA, that's all. Affiliated to some university. 80% of our time, sometimes maybe 90% of our time, we spare only for one activity, that is teaching. But you see the best B schools in India and across the globe, it is not for teaching. We have got something else. It is the teaching, it is the training, it is the research, consulting and other administrative tasks. What is the administrative task? In a B school, whether you offer MBA or PGDBM, one senior faculty is in charge of admission. We call it as a director admission. One senior faculty is in charge of placement. One faculty is in charge of administration. So we have got all these things. It is not teaching. It is not training. It is not consulting. It is the administrative job. In Hyderabad, I can tell you, one of the best engineering college in Hyderabad, the head of mechanical engineering department is in charge of transportation. I asked why. The promoter of the college, the principal of the college, he told, we are the best. Okay? We have got 48 buses. Student and faculty will be coming from the different places. And we have got the world-class infrastructure. Classroom, equipment, library, computer lab, everything. They say if all these 48 buses, if they don't come in time, then what is the point of having this world-class infrastructure? We cannot do the academic activities. Something goes wrong. We told our mechanical head is in charge of transportation and logistics. That's the thing. So even in B school we have this one. So the point when we talk about the quality of management education, when I took the charge, we have done few innovative programs. One with ISB, Indian School of Business. 2 days workshop exclusively for the librarians, B school librarian. Previously we used to have the program. B school librarian, engineering college, medical college, degree college, all we used to do together. But this time exclusively for the B school librarian. And one more innovative program, we have done 2 days workshop for the wardens and caretakers of the B school. I think if you are the best B school, it is not your academics. It is your supporting function and supporting activity. And if you know the role of warden, the warden sometimes it is more than the dean and director, because it is 24/7. And he will face the music most of the time. So whether it is India or abroad, all the problems will start right from the mess or your hostel. It is not your classroom. It is not your computer lab and library. That's the thing. So we had a 2 days program exclusively for the warden and caretakers. We thought that these are the person who will be instrumental for value addition and looking after all supporting services other than academic. I think that is also important issue for the B school. So these are the issues. So the point is we have got all these functions for management teachers. Now the question comes, how much time for teaching, how much time for the research, how much time for consulting and administrative work? Is there any solution? Do we have any solution for this? It depends on 2 issues. What is your profile? What's your background? And what's your interest also sometimes. Somebody says that I can handle placements. I am good at networking with the industry. I look after placement. I am talking about the administrative activity. That is not the only activity. So, how much time you are going to spare? What is the proper balance and mix based on 2 issues? What's your background? What's your interest? Your profile and interest, and the profile of organization. Few colleges, they may not have this research activity, they may not have this training and consulting, then what happens? You may be interested, but your organization, they are not prepared. So because of this, what I say, all these 5, it is between you and your organization. You will determine that how you are going to have the proper balancing and mix. So this is important for academic professionals, how we are going to have the mix. So this is about managing academic profession. These are the activities: managing your teaching, managing your training, managing your research, managing your consulting and administrative activity. You will have to manage all these things, and you will have to have the proper balance, then you will be successful in long run. This is one area. Now, my topic is, it is managing work-life balance. The point is, what happens? Something goes wrong between work and life. Anybody? What happens? Something goes wrong, work and life. Madam? Which one? Organization, and you are talking about individual teacher, academician. What happens if there is something wrong between work and life?
Then we have to concentrate in our work. And
Yeah.
also it will
Life also. And most of us, we are facing the challenge. If not difficulty, it is a challenge. How to manage our work and how to manage our life. Put me something, because I have got some economics background. I have seen this 2011 census. In that census, I found few of the states. Unfortunately, my own state, Andhra Pradesh, Bangalore and Kerala. The two trends are alarming. One is suicide rate. Second one is divorce rate. Okay, I don't want to tell who is number 1, who is number 2, but these are the states: Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka. Suicide rate and divorce rates are increasing. Last 3 years it has increased by 100%. Especially the divorce. Why? You are the leader. It means the Kerala. See, the point what I am telling, wherever the trend is, wherever husband and wife both are educated and both are working, the problem is there. You go to Bihar, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, you will not face this problem. Because the literacy rate is low, both may not be working, so you may not have the problem. But other places like Andhra Pradesh, Bangalore, Karnataka and Kerala, you are facing the problem. Now I am coming to the point. The point is, if there is no proper balance between work and life, you will develop stress. Stress, yeah.
If divorce or this type of problems are not there in Bihar or UP, is it that it's a good situation? Most of the situation is that the women are not working. They are, most of the cases, only very, very minor role in the family. And as it is a good thing.
It is something like this. Some state is underdeveloped. In medical sciences, we say in order to food intake, you are supposed to have minimum 1800 calories per day. Few individuals, few developing states where we take 3000 to 5000 calories per day. So you will have something like metabolic syndrome, blood pressure problem, hypertension problem and diabetes. Now the question comes, we should be in an underdeveloped state or developed state? See, point what I am telling, underdeveloped state, if you have less than 800 calories, there also you have a health problem. Malnutrition we call it. So if you are in a developed state, where because you are economically well off, so it is 1800 calories is not the issue. You can have 3000, 4000, 5000. There also there is a problem. The point what I am telling, whether it is Bihar or Rajasthan or Kerala or Karnataka, every state has got the problem. See, whatever economic situation you are, underdeveloped, few problem. Developed, few problem. I say these developed states are having the developed problems. This is my thing. It is not Kerala. So you go to the IT sector in Hyderabad. So Hyderabad, See, divorce rate among two professions, I am talking about Hyderabad and Bangalore, I don't know about Kerala. So here the number one, it is the IT professionals. Number two, it is medical professionals. Medical professionals. And medical professional, the divorce rate is more, where one of them is doctor, second one is non-doctor. The problem is this one. Either husband doctor, wife non-doctor, wife doctor, husband non-doctor, there is a problem. So this type of issue. Now coming to the point. So here, now let us go something about the faculty. See, basically, you and I, everybody will have some drawback and limitation. And one of my drawback, even my wife says and children says, the writing English language. Once I was writing my English, I was correcting the papers, answer script. My son, who is in 10th class, he told, "Daddy, is it your handwriting?" I told, "What happened?" "Who will read this handwriting?" Then I told, "Yes, I know it. Other will not read because I am a professor." So usually what happens, no, professors' handwriting, most of the students, they should not read. Okay? So the point I was telling, in medical profession, madam, in India, the doctors, when they write down the prescription, 99% the patient fellow will not be in a position to read what he has written actually. So mostly the medical fellow, medical shop fellow will understand what he has written.
Only the pharmacist.
Yeah, that medical shop, pharmacist. So I am one of the cardiologists, best cardiologists in Hyderabad. Why do you write like this? He told, I am a doctor, I write only like this. I told, what is the problem? Then he told, no, only my handwriting will be understood by the pharmacy fellow. I told, what about patients? They should not understand, they should not read. If they read, they don't come to next time to me, because whatever prescription is there, they will follow, they will purchase the medicine outside. So the point is that one. So let us go on a serious note. I have got no limitation. Once I was writing something like faculty, I made a mistake, I missed C. While writing faculty, I missed C. By mistake. Then I found what happened. If we miss C, what happens? I think if we miss C, the faculty will become the faulty. Do you agree? If we miss C, the faculty will become the faulty. Then I thought, if we do not have C in our profession, academic profession, then what is wrong? So then I identified there are 10 C's required for the academic profession. Let us start with the first one, the character. Teacher, anywhere in India or across the globe, the character must be the role model. Character must be the example for the student community. If we don't maintain this one, I don't talk about the subject, qualification, experience, that is all secondary. If you are not a role model, I think we cannot be in the teaching profession. If you see the Indian tradition, the mythology, where the teacher is regarded as a god, you call it as a Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva, Maheshwara. Guru is teacher is equal to God. Okay, it is there. Not only Hindu religion or any other religion you take it, teacher is regarded as a god. I can quote something from Islam. Once somebody asked the Prophet Muhammad that what is the rule and status of the teacher? Then Prophet told, see, for any individual, you and I, there are three fathers. One who gave the birth, the second one who gave the daughter to get married, father-in-law, and the third one who gave the knowledge. Okay? Incidentally, what happened once all these three individuals are sitting, the other fellow who is the son-in-law, and student, all these three persons, they added something, they instructed something like bring a glass of water, drinking water. Then the dilemma is to whom we should serve first, whether to the father, father-in-law, teacher.